Yep, I think we're getting levels, and people can hear us, so that's good too. Let me just make sure the aux is in.
Wait, are you Eric?
Is this working?
I'm Eric.
You're Eric.
Yeah.
Okay.
How's it
Right.
You can start right there, Ryan?
Sure.
Or Steve, you want to sit there and you
Yeah, climb under the table if you want.
want to sit over there, Steve?
Yeah.
Hand me those headphones. Hey, you're tuning into the Killer Radio Show right now. Sorry, we're just getting things situated. So hopefully some music is playing in the background. This is Often the Thinker. They were nice enough to donate music to us a couple of times here. So give it up for them. You can check them out on a Bandcamp website that we'll post later. These headphones aren't working either. So. But welcome. Yeah, we're happy to be here. We have some good guests coming in. This week we've got Anton from the Truly Spoken Cycles, and we have and who? Andy from
The Milwaukee Hurling Club.
the Milwaukee Hurling Club. Thank you, Eric. If you're just tuning in, you can make sure to tweet at Cast of Killers #KillerRadio, and we'll go ahead and read your tweets on the air. You can also give us a call at 414-955-2951. So that would be great.
Yeah. We have a show going on there right now.
Hello. If you didn't hear me, I'm sorry. Welcome to the Killer Radio Show.
How about now? Are you getting anything?
I'm just trying to see if the music's playing right now, but I think it is.
Okay.
These headphones aren't really cranking.
So did you go to the Street Fest?
I was in Fond du Lac.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Do you have a pen?
Okay. Did you get out to the festival?
Yeah, we all went out. Yeah.
All right, we should be live.
Live now.
Yeah. I'm gonna pod down the music so we can talk. So, thank you for tuning in, everybody. I have a really weird mic configuration right now, so it's really weird. I hope everyone can hear us. We're getting levels, so everything should be just fine. I'm just hitting myself in the nose with this thing, so that's good. The other guy likes to go up high with the mic. He likes to be way up here. I like to be way down here. So, welcome to the Killer Radio Show. How are you guys doing today?
Good. Are you talking to us? Or
I'm talking to everybody. Yeah.
Everybody listening.
Oh, you don't have a mic? Okay, that's probably for the best. Yeah. So thanks for tuning in. We're lucky enough to be joined by Anton right now.
Aton.
Aton? I'm sorry, I was calling you Anton.
I don't even know what your name is. So.
I'm Ryan. Well, maybe we should go through that.
Yeah, let's do that.
You're tuning into the Killer Radio Show on RiverWestRadio.com. I'm Ryan Mason.
I'm Eric Thorson.
I'm Steve.
With us today, he is at the Nice Ash doing a show.
Yeah.
I guess maybe this is why this guy headed up, because this mic stand sucks.
Chris Barnes is headlining that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Good show.
Artist out there too. He'll be in the Karma show.
Oh, rock on. We did some shows this weekend too.
Yep.
Green Bay. We did Green Bay. We'll talk about that a little bit later, since Aton's probably just getting off work right now, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So Aton is the proprietor of Riverwest's own business here, Truly Spoken Cycles. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Did I get that all right?
Yep.
Yeah. Welcome on, Aton. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
So tell us a little bit about Truly Spoken. For people who don't live in River West, it's really the only bicycle store or bike smith. What do you call yourself?
We're a bike shop. Our shop does sales as well as service. We kind of specialize in service, or at least we have until we moved to a new location this year, and we're doing a mixture of new and used bikes as well as all of the service that we offer.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. I know you used to be like kitty corner from where we actually record the show here at at River West Film and Video. But are you somebody who's been? You're obviously a fixture in River West now. That you've how long has Truly Spoken been a business?
We opened on November 3rd, 2008.
2008, yeah.
2008.
Aught
None of
8.
this 2000
Aught 8.
stuff.
The 08. That's.
Yeah, it's easy to remember because it was actually election day.
Oh, really?
So yeah, I recall vividly the day of the opening. It was a very warm November morning when I walked into work, and I was carrying a bike from my home on Fratney to the shop, and had someone make a Gone with the Wind / Muppet movie reference to me as I carried this bike down the street, and they were laying tar just like in Kermit Runs Over when he's on his way off to Hollywood.
Sure, everybody knows that.
Yeah, it was a good.
That's not a very foreboding sign for a business. So like,
No, Muppet movie references
That's
and
fine.
warm November days.
yeah, right on.
And new presidents.
So you since 08, so 4 years strong, and you've expanded your location. You have a new location, and I guess you've probably expanded a little bit of what you do since the start of your business. What do you do now that you didn't necessarily do in the beginning?
There's certain repair services that you need kind of more expensive tools to perform, like thread tapping services, which is bordering on what a machine shop would do. So we offer some services like that. A lot of other shops in the neighborhood do as well, or in the city. But yeah, when I opened, I had a very basic set of tools and very basic offering as far as components and accessories that we sold, and we've expanded that all significantly.
I suppose you continue to learn too, as somebody who fixes bikes like every day.
Yeah.
You can offer more services the more you do this.
Yeah, there's still bikes that come in that are unique in what problems they have, and so unique in the solutions that I've
Like those bikes that have the really big front wheel and the tiny back one. What are those called? I don't know. You're the
I'm
bike
not
guy.
sure.
You have to know everything about bikes.
a penny
penny
from
farthing, yeah.
the turn of the century, turn of
Yes.
the last century.
Do you get those guys coming in and they're like, "Why? I can only pay you in shekels."
Unfortunately not. I would love it if I got customers like that. I had my blacksmith form
Yeah.
this wheel for me in
The problem
Sussex,
with-
England, and unfortunately I'm on the other side of the pond. And
Yeah.
Do you accept shillings?
The problem with my bike is I can't get off it. I'm too high. So that's great. For anybody who's tuning in, if you have a question about a bike, I'd love to hear people send in their questions at Cast of Killers, #Killer Radio, #. Oh, do you guys have a Twitter?
No.
No?
We're on Facebook. But.
#Truly Spoken. We'll start your hashtag today.
Wait, actually, well, Sam is kind of the shop manager after me at this point, and he tweets about the shop on his, I think it's his personal Twitter. He may have created a shop Twitter that I just
That you're not
I'm
aware
not
of.
very I'm very technically savvy, but
The business
Not-
side of it, Sam.
technically as far as mechanics go, but not technically as far as software.
So, like, as far as you know, like, he does shirtless with spokes on Wednesdays on your Twitter. And,
He very well may. We've had some people come in without shirts on Wednesdays. So
oh yeah.
That they just got the tweet, and I just thought they were eccentric.
Well, I'm excited because Truly Spoken it's my bike shop. It's the bike shop that I use whenever, because I live in River West, and when I blow out a wheel, the most convenient place to go is in my neighborhood. So it's good to have somebody on who definitely has probably taken a look at my bike and thought, boy, that guy is fat if he's breaking his back wheel twice in the same summer. So that's awesome.
I'm sure we didn't say any of that.
Not while I was there, yeah.
To your face or not to your face.
Yeah,
As
yeah.
soon as he walks out.
We're mostly very tactful mechanics, I like to think, when it comes to customer relations.
That's good. Yeah. That's great. Me too.
That was a there's kind of a stereotype about going into a shop that it can be an intimidating experience for
Oh, yeah.
sure. Someone that's not like in this, a lot of there's a lot of bike fanatics or bike customers that we have that are very clued in to both what's going on in their bikes and and in the bike scene in Milwaukee, and I like to make people that aren't clued into that as comfortable as possible.
Yeah, definitely. I always feel good, mostly because I'm walking into a shop where everybody looks like me too. You know, like it's River West, so like I can tell that these people are a member of my neighborhood. And if they screwed me around on my bike, I'm gonna see them at Fuel like in 2 weeks. So you're probably gonna hear from me. But every time I've been in there, everyone's been really great. You mentioned the bike scene in Milwaukee, and if you're not from here, you should know that there's a tremendous bike scene. There's huge. There's a huge amount of people that bike to work. So they're using it as transportation. There's a large amount of people that are biking socially, groups that actually socially bike. Then you have things like bike polo. There's the bike polo club here in Milwaukee that's really big. I know that sounds weird, but they are really big. They go to like national events and they do their
international.
thing.
I've seen
international events, yeah. And that's great. Can you talk about how you guys fit into the bike community or how you personally do?
I don't know that I do. I don't want to that's not by any means a statement of writing it off or not wanting to be a part of it. But I do have I got married in September and
Mazel tov.
Thank you. So between my family life in terms of me and my my new spouse, as well as my parents live about a mile from here, and we like to see a lot of them. And my wife's family lives, she has a pretty close knit family, so I feel like that's been pleasurably demanding enough that I have
you got enough going on, yeah.
Yeah, I've made my biggest part of my participation in the bicycle community, like my work at the shop and trying to foster cyclists and the cycling community by just having a as affordable as possible place for people to keep their bikes functioning and stuff. So
yeah, definitely. If your bike doesn't work, I don't think
you're
we
not
have a
going to
good
end up
community.
on the social ride. Yeah,
right on. Yeah, I know. I always think of big other bike cities too. You've got like the critical mass, and you have the other things where people are actually like taking. I know Madison just had their ride the drive, like where they actually take over sections of the city. And I think Milwaukee's getting there too, where it's becoming such a community that it goes to show that a neighborhood like River West demands a bike store. We demand having the resource there to actually reach out to. Yeah. What made you choose River West? You sound like you're actually somebody who's of the community for a long time. Did you always want to start here?
I grew up in Shorewood, and before I ever lived in River West, I lived on the east side for about 5 months, and then when I was about 19, and then I lived here when I was 19 and 20, and then moved away for a few years and didn't move back until I was about 23 or so. Yeah. And, so I lived here for a little while at that age, and I worked on and off at a bike shop on the south side called Ben's Cycle. And at one point I was working at a restaurant and wanted to, do that as a business, like open my own restaurant or cafe. But that really didn't pan out, and I realized I was more knowledgeable and had more passion about mechanics and trades, and so I saw bicycling as a means to get into to get more technical knowledge, which I feel like I've acquired a lot of through the ownership of the shop.
Oh yeah, you seem like a pretty technical guy.
Like I said, not in terms of computers, but certainly.
Do you? So it sounds like your formal training with how to actually fix a bike came from working in that trade, like like you said at Ben Cycles on the south side. Is there any? Can you tell us any? Do they like haze the new guys the way they do it like in other trades? Like I know I can tell a story. Like I worked in the restaurant business, and at one point in time, I was working as like just a waiter, and they're like, "Hey, we need you to empty the water for the coffee maker," and I didn't know any difference that it was actually hooked up to a live line of water, so they just had me filling like 50-gallon buckets full of hot water until I filled like 6 of them, and they're like, "Oh, by the way, that's connected to a live water, so you don't have to do that anymore." Is there that kind of dynamic when you start in a bike shop?
There were pranks played at Ben's, for sure, but it wasn't targeted against new guys specifically. It was like it was kind of a free for all.
Oh, so everybody.
Bike shop hijinks.
But there were
Did you
people
ever
that if you
play a prank on somebody?
if you got certain people, they would get you back worse. For sure.
Yeah. Like, what's an example of a bike prank?
Someone's walking through the basement, and there's little holes going from the basement up to the second floor, and someone will just drop something down, like when you're walking right underneath it, like a small thing, like a ball bearing, or
just a whoops-a-daisy. Sorry, we dropped a bunch of ball bearings on you.
Yeah, just not even trying to be as quiet as possible, and so that they don't even notice like where this thing came from. That like
I feel like ball bearings being dropped about on a staircase is much more dangerous than you're making it sound. Yeah, we just cover the stairs in ball bearings, and we let a guy carry a 60-pound bike on it.
There was a lot of putting double-sided tape on the stairs, which I think is a pretty good one. I didn't, yeah.
When I worked at a pizza place, we had somebody. They were like, "All right, now bring this in the basement." It like wasn't a basement. So you're just like, no, it's an outside entrance. You gotta walk around, like walk around for like an hour.
That's great.
Yeah. I actually, before Ben's, I got a lot of knowledge on bike repair from volunteering at the Milwaukee Bicycle Collective.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Is that a place you get? Well, I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but
Yeah, I recall it here in River West. Correct?
no, it's actually on the near west side.
Oh, okay.
Kind of approaching like Miller Park. It's on 29th and Clybourne.
Yeah, actually, I think I'm saying that as I have a friend who was in this area who worked or learned out in at that facility, and that's a really cool story too. Like, it's just some guys who really wanted to deliver, bring their knowledge to other people to sort of expand, not necessarily the bike scene, but people like you who are looking to gain more knowledge on how to fix bikes, because it's a trade that you can actually make a living in. You can be somebody who does that for life, which is great.
Yeah, a lot of the people that we would end up serving at the collective were younger kids, ages maybe 8 to 16.
Yeah.
And, I would go in as a volunteer with relatively little knowledge, but I was an adult, so that means I...
that you should beat the crap out of those 8-year-olds.
It was easier for me to pick a lot of stuff up, and yeah, there's a lot of kids that would come in and be consistently coming in to actually try and develop their skills at mechanics and bike repair, which was really neat. It was a fun experience. There were definitely challenges in working with kids in a relatively chaotic environment.
Yeah,
a bike shop is a place where every kid, wants to go in and, they've got a bike and it's busted and they want it fixed so they can ride around with their friends.
But you don't snap your fingers for it to happen.
No, there's a lot of, there was a certain amount of what we taught kids at that place was bike repair, but a large amount of it was patience.
Oh yeah, I remember the probably the first time I came into Truly Spoken, and I'd moved to River West. I moved to River West a couple of years ago, and I think it was probably 2009, 2010, and I came into Truly Spoken. I busted my bike up pretty good. I broke like the entire back wheel, and like I just brought it in, and it seemed like the person who was helping me, it might have been you or it might have been somebody else, but they were like trying to convince me that like they were like, it's gonna take 3 days, like, and I was just like, that's fine. We're like, are you sure that's fine? It's gonna take 3 days to fix this. I was like, I understand that there are probably other bikes, and like, I've totally wrecked my bike at this point, but I can see that sense of delivering that message to the customer. You can't give them every bit of the answer of this is exactly what I have to do to fix your bike, because that might be boring.
Yeah.
They might not listen to you.
Yeah.
do you struggle with that still, or?
Axle, chain.
Yeah. What I'm saying though is you guys do a great job with that.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's yeah, we kind of have a hard time, I think, striking a balance between figuring out which customers are actually interested and want to know what we're gonna do and are concerned about. I mean, it's the same if you get anything repaired. There's always depending on what you're paying, you're always there's the sneaking suspicion, oh, did they actually replace that? Or
I was wearing a suit and tie at the time. I should say that.
But I mean, as far as the time frame goes, I mean, there's some customers that come in, they're like, yeah, I need it back, if you could get it back to me in an hour, that'd be cool. And you're like, and then there's other ones that really don't care. And, but it's hard to stress enough that a lot of bike shops in this city have, a 1 to 3 week wait on pretty much any service.
It's crazy.
So I think one of the things I pride our shop on is our quick turnaround time and the ability to get someone back on their bike as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I mean, for some people, it's their livelihood. If they use it to get to work, then you can't get on your bike to go to work. You're in trouble.
For sure.
So, with it being, early enough in the summer where people are still, probably to that point where the real reluctant bike buyers are probably, getting to the point where they think they might want to buy a bike. Probably you. Are you a reluctant
I have a bike.
You have a bike. Does it function?
It's actually broken.
It's broken. Wow, we got a
lot
new
of
customer.
I was gonna bring it too.
Tonight.
I couldn't ride it here. So.
We could have put Steve's bike on the table and been like, all right.
Well, this is broadcast with video. We could have had an online
a tutorial.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What's wrong with Steve's bike?
So what are people looking for? Is it consistent what people are looking for in a bike when they're coming in at this time of year in the summer, or is it something where there's trends that are cropping up just because it's this year?
It definitely fluctuates a lot, and it's pretty much every person that comes in, you have to really go through a lot of questions to figure out what they want, both in terms of what their usage and in terms of what they're prepared to spend, or as well as if they're there's a fair degree to which I think people come in to get some questions answered, and they're not necessarily looking to buy something. Either
It seems like a lot of times, I've bought 2 bikes since I've been in the city, and I still have them. And I remember going into different shops, and the first thing I wanted to determine was, do I trust this place more than I trust another place? Mm-hmm. Do they have the catalog that I'm looking for of the type of machine that I want to ride?
Right.
And then lastly was, okay, now which bike is for me? Mm-hmm. So do you find that establishing yourself as a reputable place is as important each time, or is it something that you've built your name to a point where you can trust it?
I think there's. I'm always concerned about customer impression of our establishment. If someone gets a certain impression when they come in for the first time, if it's not one that they're into, they're not going to come back.
Right.
And it's not the end of the world if they don't come back. I definitely want all the other shops in town to not close down. And everyone's. I think there's enough. There's enough of enough ridership in the city to support all the shops that exist,
right.
and probably more.
Yeah, I was going to say the demand in this area will continue to increase, especially with UWM's prevalence in the area too.
And I don't want to turn away customers, but to a large degree, if someone wants a specific thing that we don't have, we can either order it, or if it's something that we're not pumped about, we're probably not if they're going to want it serviced, we're always going to kind of
tell you where to go to get it.
Yeah, if there's we'll work on bikes.
If they really need a penny farthing, you will you will point them. You'll be like, I have a time machine. We can get you there. Here's a hoop and a stick.
I know some artistic blacksmiths in town.
Yeah, who doesn't? Who doesn't? Okay, you name an artistic blacksmith, and then we'll see how long we got. So I think that's fantastic. That you guys continue to deliver a quality product, and I'm going to continue to go to Truly Spoken for sure. Like, it's my bike shop. I have pride in that at this point too. What I want to ask just some inane, bike fixie questions, and see what your thoughts are. So, like, what is like the thing on a bike that when it comes into your shop, you know that it's going to be a difficult fix, even if you know you can do it. You know that it's kind of like that's the the power move of bikes, the finishing move of bike fixes. Yes.
Well, I mean, there's probably the first thing I look for on a bike when it walks in the shop is there anything on this bike that makes it unsafe?
Right.
And if I find something, then the question is, can I fix this unsafe thing, or is this bike unsafe, period, like not going to get fixed?
Yeah.
So, I mean, probably the most difficult thing is breaking the news to someone when there is something, some...
hey, your bike's dead.
Yeah, like
sorry, your bike died.
The last breath, death rattle.
Death rattle of the bike. We could melt it down and put its spirit into another bike.
Fix this bike by recycling the metal, and you buying a bike made out of that recycled metal.
I'm sure that there are people that are. I have a friend who just she had her bike stolen, and like people name their bikes. People paint their bikes, funny colors. Yeah. We are in River West. People put their favorite baseball cards in their bikes if it's the 1960s. Like all those things happen, and it is traumatic if you actually really zonk your bike.
Yeah.
Unless you're my brother, who seems to just lose them like they're pennies.
Lose them or get them stolen?
Oh, just anything like break, lose, win, lose or draw. Like he goes through them.
Lail. Hashtag Lail.
Yeah, hashtag Lail, my brother. So outside of, breaking the news of the, sorry, your bike's dead, what's the one thing that you will find yourself, somebody having a question about a specific, and you, that after speaking with somebody in the trade, that they'll be not talked out of, but perhaps warned against, in buying?
As far as service on their bike, or
no, I mean when you're actually buying a new bike.
Okay, so like what's my,
like somebody will say, I really like
thinking about buying this bike.
Yeah, I really like this bike, and then you'll tell them a fact about it,
like a bike that I'm selling, or
well, I mean, I guess that's no. I just mean anybody coming in. This bike's haunted.
We have
it's a haunted bike.
Someone died on this.
It claims the souls of other bikes.
This guy got hit by a bus. I don't know.
There's bikes that you can buy for pretty inexpensive out there.
Absolutely.
New, brand new.
You have used ones too. You can get right that you like take them in and like fix them up, and they're a little cheaper.
Yeah, we do new and used ones, but I mean there are. So are you asking about new bikes or used bikes?
I guess anybody who's coming in looking to purchase a bike, if they have an idea in their head, and sometimes that idea is a little more grand.
I kind of took that as
this might be a terrible question too. I'm just gonna put that out there.
I kind of took that as like a fixed gear question almost. Like sometimes like people like fixed gear bikes, but like
they actually get on one.
Yeah, right. I didn't know for a long time until I actually got on one what an actual fixed gear was. So like it's actually moves like that, like
sure.
Not like one of my friends has a fixed gear with no brakes, and I think that's crazy. Like, so maybe just like.
Yeah, that's something we don't condone.
Yeah, right.
I guess that would be something if someone said, "Yeah, I'm thinking about buying this bike," and they showed me a picture and there were no brakes on it.
Yeah.
I mean, you can still.
I want a bike with no brakes and one wheel.
There's
called a unicycle.
There's a really funny book called The Enlightened Cyclist that was published recently, and it talks about. The fixed gear trend, which I mean is what it is. It's
right.
It's very much so a trend in probably more marketing than anything else, and it's.
I mean, all the
sort
cool
of,
kids are doing it.
Yes,
that's what you're
all
saying.
of them, which is why I'm not cool. But it talks about how there's this bike, the fixed gear track bike, was developed, or a lot of the ones that are sold are have geometry and a lot of design features that are based around riding a bike indoors on a wood or asphalt track that's banked up, and so you ride it
Really?
in circles. Really? Yeah, that's the term track bike, which is sort of synonymous with fixed gear.
So they're built to be at that optimum speed at all times.
Yeah, there's an Olympic event as well as other racing organizations that feature the track bike racing around on a circular velodrome.
It must be really hard though to get like your country's flag on those tight jeans and stupid
Probably.
hats. Let's represent. Let's give a big hand to Bulgaria.
The Bulgarian.
These
track
are the
racing.
biggest tight jeans that we have.
But so these bikes were developed for this indoor racing event,
Sure.
and now they're being sold as
Street
a
bikes.
commuter.
Yeah.
Like specifically, it'll say fixed gear / commuter. Like it's a genre that certain
Right.
companies will have on their catalog headings. Fixed
Mm-hmm.
gear / commuter, as though this bike that was designed to be ridden indoors at high
Yeah.
speeds without brakes is like the ideal bike for going to the store.
A place where there's buses.
In rain and snow,
Yeah.
buses and
I have a full disclosure. I have a fixed gear, but it has a freewheel, and so I can coast.
Yeah.
And it has brakes, so it is as close to a regular bike as it needs to be for me to
I've ridden it
actually commute.
that's sensible.
Yeah, I figured I might as well have brakes. And when it was being explained to me that like the fixed gears don't you don't coast. I was as somebody who is a lazy person, I was like, well, coasting is my favorite part. So I was like, we need to get that taken care of. So I would say that for me, my getting to the store and back, it's much less of a thinking man's bike, when you get on it and you want to go to the store. It's a different way to ride, certainly, even with brakes and a freewheel, but it's fun enough for me to get back and forth.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to like rip on fixed gears and single
Well,
speeds.
yeah, I know you're in
I
River West. They might string you up. What did he say? What do you ride? I guess that begs the question then. Like, when you ride a bike, what do you ride? Like,
I mean,
do you ride your bike to work?
I usually walk.
You walk.
To be honest, I mean, I live like a block and a half south of Center Street. On
yeah.
Pierce,
Oh, okay.
and the shop's pretty much on Pierce and Center.
Right.
So. But I sometimes go on a ride before work, or I ride for other transportation purposes.
Right, and for exercise or?
Sort of. I mostly ride for fun.
Well, you're married now. You're gonna have a kid on there pretty soon. Maybe like 6 of them. You don't know. It's hard to say at this
Yeah, I'm
point.
gonna have to get one of those 6-seater tandems.
I remember when I was a kid, my when I was a child, it was before they had the wagon that's attached to your bike, and it's that little covered thing that's horrible, that seems totally unsafe, but I'm sure it's fine. But my dad had the seat, the child seat that was directly attached to the back of his seat. Yep. I was just like, if we go down on that thing, we're done. We will die, and you'll feel bad. And he had ram handlebars, so he was leaning over, and I'm way on the back of it. There's no center of balance. It was great. I don't know where this story's going, but I just remember being terrified.
Child's helmet, right? Did you have a little helmet?
I don't think I did. This was in the early '90s in a small town, Wisconsin, so it was probably fine. Oh yeah. Oh, we got to get you a mic. Do you have a bike, Sarah? Sarah's joining us from the Hurling Club. She didn't bring us cookies today because I don't know why.
I think it's because you said you're not a fan of cookies.
That might be it. Do you have a bike, Sarah?
Yes, I do.
You do have a bike. Sarah has a bike. What kind of bike do you have?
One with wheels.
One with wheels.
It's a Huffy.
Wow.
It's a Huffy.
She's going to be a tough sale. Well, Steve, did you have any questions for Eitan? No.
Twitter. You do have a Twitter though.
Oh, they do have a Twitter.
They do have a Twitter.
Oh, you looked it up.
Yep.
Yeah,
Steve's our go-to
we have
guy
a Twitter
for things. Yeah.
and a Facebook.
And you did a good. Oh, let's get those followers up.
I think at least a third of those followers are employees or girlfriends of employees of the shop.
Those are the most important ones.
Yeah.
So if anybody's listening, what's their Twitter,
What's
Steve?
the handle?
Truly spoken bike at
on Twitter.
At Truly Spoken Bike.
Truly Spoken Bike.
If you're a fan of the Killer Radio Show, go ahead and follow them, especially if you live in River West or one of the surrounding neighborhoods, because I'm sure that, as any business, if there is any sort of deal going on, or if there's just any promotions that Truly Spoken's doing, you should know about them. Not to mention that I would think that with a bike shop or a facility that actually sells and maintains bikes, that if you have a question about your bike and you don't necessarily want to, let's say it's raining, you don't want to take your bike all the way there, you can ask on their Twitter, and I'm sure that they would be kind enough to give you the best answer they possibly could, and probably tell you to come in. So
yeah, we
I think
answer
that'd be great.
questions on Facebook all the time. We can, if you take a picture of the problem with your bike, we can probably diagnose it on Facebook. Also, if you're looking for,
It's a really gracious service that you offer too.
I can double plug our shop and one of the newer establishments moving onto Center Street. We're gonna People's Books, which is moving from the east side to River West, is going to be having a raffle for their. They're having an event, a fundraiser event with a raffle to raise money for the move, and one of the items being raffled off is a tune-up at Truly Spoken Cycles. So.
Right on. Well, way to support local businesses. Is that the one that's right on Locust Street on the east side?
Locust and
Pretty much Maryland.
And he has a big dog.
He actually, People's Books was owned by I think his name was Chris.
Right.
Who had the dog, and he was gonna be closing it or selling it, and it was purchased by a cooperative of people who are now running it.
Oh, excellent.
So now it's People's Books Cooperative, and they've decided to move to River West, which will be a great addition for Center Street. I think they're going to be moving in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pretty much
Do you know
next
where
door to
they are?
Centro Cafe. I think.
right over here.
Yeah, just up the street between Bremen and Fratney on Center here.
Oh, right on. Yeah, I mean, as River West continues to grow, I think Truly Spoken is a really great representation for like the western corridor of Center Street. If you're not familiar with River West, you would come down this street and begin to see businesses and really, you're one of the first ones that is so welcoming to people coming in from that direction. So it's great to, really promote everyone that's doing something in this area because, business begets business. We would like to see everybody here really succeed. And quite frankly, I don't think there's a business that's in River West that I would stand up and tell people not to go to, because they're employing people here, and a lot of people are putting out really amazing things. So and you guys included, definitely.
Well, thanks.
Thank you so much for coming on the show, being so gracious with your time.
Thanks for having me.
Can I get one more question?
Yeah, go ahead.
What would you say is like a frequently asked question? Like if somebody comes in and it's just like, you can just guess right away by like hearing what's wrong with their bike, what they should do. You know what I mean?
I mean, the most boring, frequently asked question is how much is a tube, or how much to fix a flat. Almost the same question.
Sure.
But outside of that, I mean, there's, I don't know.
I don't know, like chain problems and stuff where it's just like really easy. We just be like, well, just tighten this, or add some WD-40 or something. Like.
I kind of wish there were more shifting questions, because I am a strong advocate of multiple speed bikes. I think they're very practical and not necessarily maintenance headache. But I don't.
So you're saying like more people are, with the prevalence of the fix your bike, that a lot of people maybe are shying away from the shifting bikes.
It's a mixed bag. I would say it's definitely not. There's people that. There's the swing biker who doesn't know which one he wants.
Right.
Which one
Me. It's me. I have two
Or if
bikes.
they have like a mountain bike and a street bike,
Yeah.
I mean, I ride single speed bikes occasionally. I have the luxury of riding pretty much whatever bike I want, whenever.
I would imagine.
But
It's gonna be 3 days. I'm gonna take it for a spin.
I think that.
single speed bikes are actually really popular in mountain biking.
Oh, really?
And it's kind of counterintuitive, because you'd think to get up a mountain you're going to want some gears and stuff, but if you're not in a hurry, all you need is the climbing gears, and then you can just coast down the hill. And derailleurs and shifting can be especially impeded by how dirty you get your bike mountain biking and
right.
you know, knocking into trees and rocks and stuff. So
Do you mountain bike?
I do, yeah.
You do?
Actually,
That's cool.
I used to be a strictly transportational cyclist, and I realize now that it's riding on dirt is really fun, and riding. I kind of wish I had ridden BMX when I was growing up.
Sure.
Because that looks like a blast, and I'm not coordinated enough to do it. But I think it's great that people are riding their bikes for transportation, you know, to work and for chores and everything.
Yeah.
And also for the community aspect of it. But it can be a very rewarding form of exercise and leisure too, which is something I neglected for most of my bike riding
Yeah.
and fixing career.
Well, it's good because, you know, I ride it for exercise until I get to the liquor store, and then it's for commerce. So for me, you know, it's kind of best of both worlds.
It's
So
for health and
yeah, and unhealth,
And
which is good.
wellness, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. And sounds like maybe next time we have you on, you'll be able to tell some stories about off-road biking. So that would be really exciting too to hear about. So, Eitan of Truly Spoken Cycles.
Ryan.
Yep, I'm Ryan, Steve Breeze, Eric. We're all going to be back with you after this. If you have any questions, send them to @CastleKillers, #KillerRadio. You're listening to the Killer Radio Show on RiverWestRadio.com. I'm going to play some music from Often the Thinker. They have a new EP that's out, and Steve, hopefully you can find their Bandcamp to post on the Twitter. This is Often the Thinker, and really go out and support their new EP. It's $3. So Brighton, Massachusetts, by way of Madison, Wisconsin. I'm going to play this song again. It's called, let me see which one. I think it's called... See, people were talking about it. Okay, Winter's Sister. Winter's Sisters. This is Often the Thinker. Okay, welcome back to the Killer Radio Show on riverwestradio.com. I'm Ryan Mason.
Eric Thorson.
Steve Breeze.
Steve Breeze is sitting in for Jason Hillman, who's out at the Nice Ash tonight doing a show, so that's great. I hope he's doing well. I'm sure that show's really good tonight. Chris Barnes out there and a bunch of other funny people.
Who else at the Nice Ash?
Nick Hart.
Nick Hart. Yeah.
All right.
Chris Barnes.
And Chris Barnes and Jason.
Pretty sure it's the 2-year anniversary for that show.
Yeah, right on. We had some good shows this weekend too. Steve joined us as well in Green Bay,
I
De
did.
Pere, Wisconsin, at the Venture Theater, which was a lot of fun for anybody who came out to there.
My mom was there.
Yeah, Eric's mom was there, so that was pretty fun.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out to Eric's mom. Yeah, it was a great show, and it's fun to do a show in like another city. We stayed in a hotel, which is awesome too.
24-hour
Yeah,
pool.
24-hour pool.
24-hour pool.
Most exciting thing happening in that town.
Yeah.
Right?
We got kind of drunk and hung out in the pool, and Eric acts like a little kid when he's in a hotel. I found that out.
I wasn't even like invited.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys locked me out of the pool area. I came and stood
You
by
said
the
you
door.
were gonna write in the room or something.
Yeah, I did. That's what I ended up doing. But I thought like,
that's
I'd
what
join
you
you guys for
wanted
like a
to
minute.
do.
Yeah, but I thought I'd join you guys for like a minute, but you guys just like you shut the door like right behind you.
Whatever.
You didn't even see me. I was like
I
invisible.
gave you a key, did I not?
No, you didn't.
I got you a cot.
You got me a cot. Thank you for the cot.
You have a cot.
He did have a
Better-
cot. Yeah, so it was like
Spoon on the other.
5 people. No, 5 people in a hotel room in Green Bay after doing a show at the Venture Theater. So thank you to Michael from the Venture Theater.
Yeah, great.
Great person, great venue. We'll be excited to go back there when school starts again at St. Norbert's because that was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. I may have had too much fun too. This mic sucks. But how do you think the show went, Eric?
I thought it went good. Yeah, the
We ate
second
pizza.
show- yeah, we ate pizza. Steve's love interest, right?
Yeah, Steve had a.
My love interest in my just stalker in a
Did
way.
she friend you on Facebook
She
yet?
friended me. Yeah, no, she did.
Her name was Maria.
Maria, yep.
Maria joined us for the
Did
show.
she guys add you or just me?
Just you.
Just me. Damn.
Just you, Steve.
Oh,
Well, to be fair, like she was probably 18 and she knew we were all like in our late 20s, so whatever. But yeah, we had some nice people come out and she was nice enough to stay for the show and deliver our pizza, really, which is
I
great.
actually I got the pizza.
Oh, either way, I mistake the two of you because she's a girl.
Yeah, right.
But no, everybody had really great sets too, which was fun to see. We did halftime at the roller derby in Green Bay, which was really exciting too.
Yeah, what was that like?
It was crazy. Like I was hoping that more people would come from the roller derby, but I think it was nice enough to do like get some exposure for our group, at an event that actually had some people at it. And so Damon and I did the halftime show at a roller derby that was a 6-team bout. So like 3 different bouts with 6 teams from all over, Chicago, Minneapolis, and Madison. I think there were teams from and Green Bay. So we got out there and I had emailed with the guy and they were like, okay, you're going to do the halftime entertainment. And we're like, okay, that's great. We'll do that. It's exposure. But you get out there and it's like people are skating around us. Damon's doing jokes, and there's people skating around him. There's plexiglass in between him and most of the crowd. So it was like doing comedy in the middle of like a hockey match. Like it was weird stuff. Oh, we got lights. Hey, hello. Hey. Yeah, I'm sorry you guys missed that, but it was interesting. And they had they have the mics that are wireless, so you could actually walk around the actual place. But it's like the microphone system is just the announcing system,
You didn't even ask for skates to skate around and do jokes.
That was the thing that I totally regretted afterwards. I was like, how great would it have been to do comedy on skates? Like, I would have loved to do that. That would have been the highlight of my year. But I did not do that. But that's okay. I had a good time in De Pere, and I hope to go back there to do more shows.
me too,
Definitely.
Yeah, it was a fun time up there.
Well, you got to get back up there anyway, Steve.
Yeah, no.
Meet
I
the
will not be joining
ladies.
that girl when I'm coming.
Okay.
She'll already know because you're Facebook friends.
I played basketball yesterday.
Yeah.
That was pretty exciting.
Yeah, that was surprising.
with Jason Hillman of the Cast of Killers.
The rebound king. Huh?
Yeah, me and Jason Hillman playing basketball. Even guarded him for a little while. I don't think he scored on me when I guarded him, but when we were on the same team, it was pick and roll offense the whole time, just dropping dimes to Jason Hillman. No, Jason Hillman can play some basketball.
Yeah?
He's okay. He can play. It's surprising, if anybody's listening, comics can play basketball too. Okay, we can hoop it up.
I've been known to shoot the rock.
I doubt that. Kind of doubt that. How was it to have your mom at your show?
It was. I mean, it was a little weird.
It was okay.
I'm glad that she laughed and didn't just like look disappointed at me the whole time.
Yeah, that's probably good.
Is that what I mean? Is your mom like always look disappointed?
Yeah, I think so.
We'll go 80%. We'll go 80%.
80%.
They seem to have a good time. I mean,
Yeah.
I think she was probably nervous, like most moms are when anybody gets on stage. They want to make sure that you do well, and you did well. So, that's all you can do, really. I noticed you maybe self-edited a little
Yes,
bit.
I did edit a lot of my jokes that had to do with things that my mom wouldn't approve of. I definitely cleaned them up a little bit.
Right. All your
Why
jokes.
did you do that? I mean,
Yeah.
Ryan, you don't. Do you edit? When you're
No,
on film?
obviously
Yeah,
not. I do a joke about my filleting my dad.
Yeah.
I know, and I've
mom
done
loved-
that one in front of my dad.
My mom loved that one.
Yeah, good. I'm glad she
I
did.
could tell. No, I mean, I do a lot of like cleaner shows too. So like, I have a lot of jokes, and then I
Yeah, so you wussed out, is what you're saying. You're
Yeah.
wussed out. You
Yes,
didn't bring your
yes.
A material because your mom was there.
I mean, when I performed in front of my mom for the first time, I
Did you edit?
I like I was gonna do a clean show. I told everyone in the audience, like my mom, I really want to make sure that I'm gonna do a clean show because she hates swearing and I want to be remembered in the will.
Yeah, obviously.
And I placed a heckler in the audience. Like I planted a person to call me out and call me a mama's boy, and then I just went off. And I won't say what I said because it was a lot of dirty stuff. And it was
Placing a heckler.
That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
I like that. Steve Breeze,
Yeah.
meta. Meta. Hey. Well, we have huge fans. We have huge fans who will never see us again. That's great. Yeah, I mean, doing a show with somebody in the audience who you think you might have to self-edit for is totally something that you might deal with. But I don't feel the need to do it anymore. Like if I was dating, maybe I would think like, oh, I should probably self-edit a joke.
well, you
here
do
or there.
self-edit. You never do that joke.
Oh yeah. You're right. I don't do one joke about my girlfriend and the sex
she, like,
and all the great
specifically-
sex we have.
When she's there.
Yeah, when she's there.
When she's
I think I did do it when she was there once.
really, I was.
She wasn't too pleased with it. But I think that one I didn't really have time to do in the shows because I had a pretty strict list of what I was working on and jokes that I knew I could do without having to rack my brain for what the actual joke was.
Yeah.
It was fun to go up and do Depere too because I was like, oh well, I can do all of my jokes. I have my full repertoire to pull from here. I didn't have to look at my list and be like, what jokes did I do 2 weeks ago or what jokes did I do this week?
Yeah.
You could really just pull
Pick
from
your nose
anything.
on camera.
Oh, I don't
Yeah.
care. I really don't care. Hey, everybody. But
Find anything?
yeah, I got my brain in there. Look, I'm a ball of grossness. My toe nail is about to fall off because I smashed it playing basketball. So I showed Eric, and he's queasy about it.
Squeamish.
I think we're all a little queasy. I mean, that's
Yeah, for those of you who
It's
can't
really-
see, my toenail is purple right now.
Purple and yeah, just gross.
Purple and gross, and it's gonna fall out. So if you have any questions about my toenail, please tweet at
home remedies.
Killers.
Remedies about how to fix a broken toe, just a bad toenail.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna dunk it in hydrogen peroxide. I think that's the way to go. I don't know. They're gonna rip it off. I think whoever they is.
We should have a fundraiser, like if we raise enough money,
Auction it off?
auction it off.
Yeah.
Or I was
Put
going
it
to
on
say,
a
just like the person who bids the most gets to rip it off for you.
Oh, I got $20 already on it.
Yeah, $20.
Yeah.
Tweet
I'll do it.
if
That's a
there's a
good
higher
call.
bid.
That is a good call.
I mean, that'll save you money from the doctor unless you have insurance.
Oh yeah. So we have Andy coming in from the Hurling Club.
Yeah.
Pretty soon here, hopefully. So if you have any questions about what the hell hurling is, please tweet those in because I have no idea what it is.
Yeah.
And maybe you can give me a vague idea of what it is. So that would be good too. Yeah, Jason and I played basketball. I smashed my toe. It's now purple, and my toenail is going to fall off. But It was good exercise. I felt pretty good about it, and hopefully Eric will join us the next time to embarrass himself on the court.
No, I'm not invited. No, I never invited to any of these things. I thought we were gonna go golfing.
It's
Did you guys
embarrassing
go
to even
golfing?
think about you playing basketball.
I mean, you have height, but
So,
I have.
me and
Height?
Steve-
I don't have height on you.
You're like an inch taller than I am.
Okay, yeah.
Jason's
enough
probably
height.
like 6'1".
So I can play in the league.
Yeah.
Jason's like 6'1", 6'2" maybe.
That's nothing though in basketball. 2 inches. Come on. Get real.
Speaking of basketball, though, if anybody's watching the finals are going on right now.
Yeah.
So Eric wants you to tweet in the score. I
8
think is
o'clock.
what he's actually saying.
Who do you want?
Who am I rooting for?
Yeah.
I've been saying that I'm rooting for a good series. I'd like
Yeah.
it to go 7 games and have a really interesting series, but I don't know. I can't really root for LeBron, so
Yeah, right,
I'll
yeah.
say Oklahoma City. But it's hard to root for them too. Like the Sonics, like those people in Seattle must be heartbroken. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like so, I'm rooting for James Harden's beard. That's what I'm rooting for. How about you, Steve?
I don't even know who's playing.
That's probably for the
Oklahoma
best.
and LeBron. I'm guessing he's taking
Yep,
on the entire
Oklahoma
team.
versus the LeBrons.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, if you have any tweets about the finals, I'd love to hear those too.
Some finals here.
I don't know how many people are listening now, so maybe tomorrow we'll get some tweets about that finals game that was so great that we missed,
Right.
which would be great. Last week was a really interesting show, I thought, to do during the election. And while the election results were coming in, it was Steve did a great job of making sure that we were abreast of the issues. And I guess as much as like Steve Breeze, what Steve Breeze's brain was thinking about the election was going on our Twitter
I don't
feed.
even remember what I was saying.
And you voted for the first time.
Yeah, I voted and I didn't care for it.
You still feeling bad about that?
Still feeling bad about it.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
So, we should say that now we can officially call it that Scott Walker won the election.
Yes.
Hari Trivedi did not win. It was I think it was a tough pill to swallow for a lot of people. And I think
absolutely.
even for those, I think for the people who actually voted conservatively, that maybe it probably wasn't even as satisfying as maybe they wanted it to be, because it wasn't close. It was but it wasn't really a landslide either. It was right in that middle zone where it was like, well, I guess people cared enough to come out, and this happened, and nothing really changes in terms of we still have the same governor. So I can't imagine that it would be like a big win for somebody really either. So I mean, all in all,
Well, I mean,
really kind
they're
of a
rubbing
letdown.
it. I mean, I guess they're not even rubbing it in the face. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just the same. It was a waste of. I guess I don't really want to call it a waste of time, but it was a waste of money for
Yeah,
sure.
It was a waste of a lot of money
And
as
just
far as, ads and stuff.
a waste of hope. I guess that'd be another.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm one of those. I don't believe in hope. I have the lowest
Sure,
expectations.
That's
Don't
great.
believe in
That's
hope.
great.
Well, why would you? I mean, that's just setting yourself up for a letdown, and it's
Set the bar so low they can't miss your mark. That's right.
yeah.
It's good. Good for you, Steve.
I'm fine. No Disney movie about me ever. I'm okay with that.
Well, I think that it was. I think there were people out there that were hopeful about it, but hopefully
Yeah.
Oh, there were. I went out after, and I went out to Yield Bar, and all my friends were so depressed about it. They were drinking more than usual.
Yeah.
And
Oh my God.
sobbing, and I was like, I mean, really, you had that high of expectations or that much hope that it's just you're not even gonna fight anymore. They're saying I'm done. I'm
There
done.
was very defeatist attitude.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the people had worked for a really long time.
Yeah.
I think to get the actual.
Signature
Well, I mean, there's
Pass,
more going
yeah.
on. There's more going on than just Wisconsin. I mean, the whole Occupy movement is still huge, and I mean, I think that's more important because it's the entire country and not just what's going on in our state.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I see both sides of this where people are glad that it's over because that whole era has passed, and people can kind of move on with their lives, and
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with people being comfortable with moving on and the sorts. But I still get the people should still be hopeful and people should still be trying to do.
I mean,
what
there's a
they believe
difference
is right.
between being hopeful and then still fighting. I mean, you can have no hope.
Why would you fight if you didn't have any hope for any change?
Because why? I mean, it's just having those to me, I will fight regardless of if it changes or not, it's just the fact that I'm trying to make a difference.
But that's still hope then. Like you in somewhere capacity believe that difference is able to be
But it's
made.
not going to, like, I won't feel defeated if it doesn't happen, because if I still lose, then I'll still go
Then
after.
you're insulating yourself.
Yeah.
That's all you're
So
doing.
what? That's what I'm doing.
That makes you a wuss, though.
Yeah, so what? I'm a wuss. Look
you're
at
like,
me.
Oh,
Well,
I
I
can't
guess you
lose.
can't see me.
I can't lose because I don't care. I won't
Yeah.
lose. Oh, I lost. I don't care.
Yeah. Well,
That's
I mean, if you
defeatist.
lose, then you get slapped in the face. I mean, that's
No.
what happened.
No, you just lose.
Literally,
and move
Bear
on.
got slapped in the face. It's a big slap in the face if you lose, and
I suppose. Whatever.
I'm interested to see how this is going to affect the presidential election.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean, like, there's a pretty electric political atmosphere in all of Wisconsin. Like, so I wonder if like it's going to be the same amount of passion. You know what I mean?
No, I don't
Unless
think it
everybody's
is.
Steve Breeze.
Yeah.
In which case they'll all stay home and
Unless
eat,
you're a-
eat 3-day-old pizza
I don't
and
do
be like, I
that.
don't care. I don't know. I think the presidential election will be as grand as intended. I mean, it's a incumbent president, and those elections are always heated, and they're always, maybe they're not as high a voter turnout as a two parties going at it without an incumbent, but I can't imagine that it'll be less than a huge turnout for the fact that it's our first African American president.
Yeah.
In his second term, going up for his second
Yeah.
term. I would hope that people would come out to at least voice their opinions on that. That would be weird if they didn't.
Yeah.
Sarah's blowing bubbles at
Yeah.
us now. She's like, stop talking about politics. It's boring. I went to a bachelor party.
Ooh.
That's not politics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever been to bachelor parties?
I've never been invited, so
I
I
have
can't
never been
imagine
to
why.
one, but I'm going to one at the end of this month.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Where at?
We're going to a Brewers game.
Oh, okay, fun.
see, that sounds
Really
so
good
funny.
seats.
Great.
Yeah.
That's excellent.
Should
Is
be
it
fun.
in one of those booths? I can't say bots. I don't want to say bots on TV because it sounds like robots.
Well, we're not on TV. So
No, we're not. Yeah, radio.
I think we'll be okay. Yeah, I went up to the Dells for a bachelor party, and like I have all sorts of thoughts.
You went
about
to
the Dells
Chasers?
at this point. No, I did not go to Cruising Chubbies
Or whatever.
it's called.
Yeah.
It's not called Chubby Chaser.
I thought it was called Chubby Chaser.
No, it's called Cruising Chubbies.
Yeah, cruising chubbies. That means.
Which sounds more like a gay
you'd-
strip club than an actual strip club, I think.
Yeah.
But
I thought it was more like a carnival ride.
Sounds like a dude
Yeah.
masturbating in his car riding on the highway. That's
that might be it. Yeah. No, they went there the second day, and I was in Green Bay, so thank goodness I avoided that, which is probably for the best. And I don't know. I bachelor parties. It was probably not the first one I've ever been to, but one of the very few that I've been to. I had a good time. I got really drunk. I think that was the point. Everybody gets really intoxicated, and you go out in the town and kind of act like here's the thing about the bachelor parties that probably isn't a secret, is that like all the guys like kind of like they go out and like it's a chance to like remain like have that one last bastion of singleness, and you're like kind of hitting on girls but you're not, because like it's not like something that you're actually going to do, but like that's part of it, which I think is really
How is
weird.
it any different than any night when a bunch of guys go out, like single guys? Like,
right I guess
or
that
people with
it's in a different
relationship.
place.
It's in a different place.
Yeah. So it adds to the drama of it. But I don't really understand it. Like I don't really get like the let's half hit on girls to make sure that we still are somewhat of sexual objects. Like I like to think that I exude sexuality no matter where I go. I could be at the local McDonald's and hopefully I'll still have that
You get those, that extra
Don
chicken
Draper
nugget,
attitude.
those eyes,
No,
that
you're
extra
still
chicken
a head
nugget
tur-
giving
you're
the
still a
sexy
head
eyes.
turner, right?
Yeah,
You're still a head
thanks.
turner.
Thanks, Eric.
Yeah.
So you've been to a bachelor party before, have you not?
No, I haven't.
Never ever?
Never ever.
Oh, and you're gonna go to a Brewers game, which is secret code for massive strip clubs, right?
Yeah, secret code for tons of strip clubs.
Yeah. I've never been to a strip club, so I'm kind of away from that idea at this point in my life. Like, I would hate to be like 28 years old, 27 years old, and be like, well, I gotta go to a strip club before I'm 30. Like that's that. Like I'm not. I don't think that's really suits me.
I've been to like the one above Joker's, Silk. I've been there, and I've been to a strip club in Marinette, and oh boy.
Oh no. How was that? Did you meet the woman of your dreams there?
No, it's
See any
You were
high
just going to
school-
get
high
cash
school
from your mom.
sweethearts there.
yeah, that was it.
What's it called?
North Point.
Oh boy.
Yes.
North Point.
Yep.
Something
There's
like a
one
beer.
up north called the Northern Exposure. I
Northern
know that.
Exposure.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one is more central Wisconsin. That's
Yeah.
Deer Camp Central. That's what that is.
That's where the next bachelor party I'm going to is like Deer Camp Central.
Deer Camp Central.
Yeah. So that's exciting. You're not going to go to a strip club during this bachelor party, but
I
you've
mean-
experienced Marinette and all it has to offer.
This bachelor party is a day brewer game, so I mean the strip club could be in the cards after the game. But Sarah's looking at me, so I'm gonna stop talking now.
Oh, Sarah, quit ruining the show.
I went to the strip club once, and I they
Hashtag Lale.
they love to do stuff for dollars, and I had the one. Oh yeah,
Indian food
That's
in
a
a can.
was it a can of fruit or was it just a beer bottle or a
It's
beer can?
food. It looks
It's
like
food.
mixed vegetables.
Oh, okay.
Just pick it up from the donation box.
Yeah, I'll text him. What were you saying, Steve?
Oh, the stripper asked if I wanted to rub my face between her chest, and I said no. But I did say you should turn around and take it off my face with your butt. And she did it. She did it. And that's what you
That's
remember.
terrible.
Yeah. And then Guy Brown was telling that joke last night how he'd never want, a stripper to take $1 off his face
Yeah.
with her ass or butt or whatever. I don't know what's PC.
This is so uncomfortable.
Yeah, I
like
know.
you're making me awkward. Like I feel bad for like this whoever this
listeners.
poor woman was. Like knowing how very few dollars you have to your
It wasn't.
name,
It wasn't
Steve.
even my dollar.
Of course it wasn't, Steve.
And then my friend also bought me a lap dance right after that from the same woman, and she was actually really nice, but I had no idea what to do. So I just danced with her, and that was weird.
What is that?
Like
Wait,
slow
you
slow
danced with her?
Slow
Yeah.
danced?
Like in,
Yeah, like slow dance. No, like we booty grind a little bit. And
I don't understand that.
I don't understand lap
I wish
dancing.
you'd stop talking about sexual things because it's making me feel terrible.
I'm gonna talk about my first time.
No, I don't want to hear
It
anymore.
was really
what
awkward.
about last week?
That's awful.
Oh, last week I was in 13.
That's awful. So no strip clubs for me. Probably a safe rule for I don't know.
I think
at
it's a
least
safe rule
the
for
rest of
every
my
guy.
life.
It's a waste of money, and it's a waste. It's just a waste.
Yeah, I
Another
can see that.
hopeless thing in
You know
my
what?
life.
Like though, I'm sure
Talking
that
to
there are like Damon would call and be like, "It is not a waste of money." I'm gonna throw Damon under the bus already.
I went to a strip club with him. I went to Ricky's with Damon. Me and Damon were coming home from some show, and I say, let's go pick up some black girls, and he brings me to Ricky's, which isn't picking up black girls. That's giving black girls money. It was just awful. It was awful. He gave me money. He gave me it was awful. He gave me my money for that night.
In singles.
Yeah, and he gave me like $20 for working Karma, and I didn't even
then
want
you
the money.
immediately spent it at a strip club.
I tried saving $5, and then I guess I got too drunk and I put my last $5 in some stripper's thong right when I left.
Why? You need to just stop hanging out with Damon at this point. Oh man, that's terrible, Steve. So the money that Damon gave you, he basically got to live vicariously through you while you spent it. Like he was basically like giving you money, and that money already had like a signature on it, like to be like this money is going to strippers. So
Yeah, I didn't even want the money. I didn't even want to go to a strip club, and it was really like I don't like strip clubs.
well, you've been to enough of them to
I've been
make
to
that
two.
decision.
I've been to two. Both times I had no idea I was going.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of there.
I remember I went to one. It was Guy Brown's birthday, and we went to.
Great.
He tagged me and Jason in a picture in the strip club.
That's a
On
no-no.
Facebook.
That is a no-no.
Yeah.
Like there was like strippers in the background, and like it was like me and Jason, like Guy Brown, like happy birthday.
That's terrible.
I know. I was
Yeah.
like, and he didn't even like. I asked him, like, did you check in the background? Was there like a random booth?
First of all, you can't take pictures in strip clubs.
I
Like
know.
that's totally against the rules.
Yeah, absolutely. But it was Guy Brown's birthday, so apparently it flew. Like,
Yeah, I guess so. I would have been like, we are not friends at this point.
he tagged me, and I was like, dude, untag me of this immediately.
Oh, okay.
I don't want my
Nick says keep it down because we're talking about strip clubs. Oh, sorry. Anyways, what were we talking about?
He's like,
Stage voice, Nick. Maybe my mic's loud. I'll just turn my mic down so I can keep talking this loud. Yeah, anyways, if we have any strippers listening, please tweet at CastleKillers,
The one
hashtag
from
killer.
Art Bar. If,
Tell us your Damon Millard stories.
If what was her name? Jenna Lynn or something from Art Bar.
Yeah,
Remember?
yeah, I know her.
Jenny
yeah.
Lynn.
Either way.
She's listening.
So you're listening to the Killer Radio Show on RiverWestRadio.com. Tweet at CastleKillers, hashtag Killer Radio if you want to send us a tweet. If you're listening at a later time, go ahead and like our Facebook page. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Otherwise, come check out some of the shows we have coming up. Definitely Club Anything on the 21st, the Devil May Care show.
Aristocrats.
Yeah, the Aristocrats. I know you guys all seem to know what we're supposed to be doing for that show. I understand what that joke is.
Yeah.
But I've been barely had anything explained to me, so I'm just gonna go to that show and do my jokes and figure it out.
I mean, if you pre-write an Aristocrats joke, I don't think you get what the Aristocrats is. You know what I mean? You can't like write out an Aristocrat set. It's just like whatever filth comes to your mind at that time.
Right,
about-
right.
I have one written out mostly. I mean, it's not. I just have points, just like stages that the characters go through that they have,
Sure.
and I needed those points just to make it different than a lot of the other
Yeah.
jokes that I've heard, because it needs to be unique to your personality.
To your sensibilities.
How far and dark you can take the joke is the whole thing.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've never done it, so
And I think for your show, it's like everybody's contributing to the same joke, so
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not just.
It's featuring the Aristocrats, so I'm pretty sure everybody in the show, like you, Jason,
Ed
Nugent, Jeff Lampton, Jeremy
Great.
J, they're all gonna do like a set, and then at the end, you're all gonna do a version of the Aristocrats, like in order. Like you set it up, and then maybe Ed will like say a couple of lines to it, or you know what I mean.
yeah.
I'll tell you what, Ed Nugent could probably do the most disgusting
Yeah.
Aristocrats.
Yeah, like his
known
life
to
kind of
man.
is that joke. Anyways. But no,
If he's listening, shout out.
yeah, that's on the 21st at Club Anything. It's a Thursday. Club Anything's right by La Perla, so go get yourself some tacos
And
come
by
to
the
our
Carte
show.
Blanche.
Yep, and by Carte Blanche. Art Bars this week. Come on out to Art Bar Thursday night. We do a show. If you come out at 8:30, it's a great show, and there's $3 lakefronts, so that's always a
And
that's
rails,
a draw.
$3
And
rails,
$3
too.
rails.
Oh, I
And
didn't
Karen's
know.
bartender and she
$1
rules.
mystery beers.
Yep.
Is that how the mystery beer? $2
I don't
mystery
think
beers.
it's $1 mystery. I think
$2.
It might be $3.
Maybe $3.
Yeah, I think it's $3 for the mystery beer. That's the thing. It's
Okay.
always $3 for the mystery beer.
Okay.
Yeah.
And people get confused, and they're like, "Oh, I'll have the mystery beer because they think it's the cheapest."
Yeah.
But when it's like that night, it's not. It doesn't make any sense.
Plus, it's
Yeah.
like like you might buy a $2 Blatz for $3, like because that's
Yeah.
part of the mystery. Like
Forget that. We definitely have a lot of shows coming up too. I have a show in Madison at the Project Lodge on June 24th, so I'm really looking forward to that as well.
It's a fun
I'm
show.
looking forward to Karma this Friday.
Yeah, Karma.
yeah.
Yeah, we're both. Me and Eric are both on that show.
Yeah, that's gonna be a lot.
Oh, that'll be awesome.
Yeah.
I can't make it because I'm going to be at a bachelor party, but that's going to be a great show. Who's headlining? Because I know it's not you.
Dallas.
Yeah,
Dallas, Ryan Lowe,
Oh,
and
right
Nick
on.
Hart
Yeah.
are the
Headliners.
Headliners.
Yeah,
That'll be exciting.
that's it.
Yeah.
That'll be a really good one.
Fun show.
And that's the year mark for Karma too.
Really?
Wow,
Yeah, it's been a year.
already?
It's been a year.
Wow. That's
Where does the time go? So did you guys go to Locust Street Days this weekend?
yes.
I didn't. I went home and fell asleep.
I went home and wrote in my journal about not having any hope and how I lost all my money to strippers.
What money? It wasn't my money.
It was your money technically. If it was in your hand and it
Yeah.
went into
If they
a
gave it to you-
G-string,
Yeah,
it's
but
your money.
but you get kicked out of strip clubs if you're not drinking or giving women money.
I guess so.
No, it
I don't know.
yeah,
Yeah,
you do.
You would know.
That's your call.
I
I
would
get
know.
a water and just look at all the free boobs I can until you kick me out.
Good call.
I got kicked out for one of the dancers asked me to bust a move, and then the bouncer came over. You can't do that here. It's like, because I'm bad, or
Were you drunk?
yes, I was very.
I was gonna say I don't know any situations where, when asked to bust a move, Steve Breeze.
I have like a signature move. I mean,
Oh,
I used
signature move.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
I don't know what it is.
What's the song? Is there like a certain song?
Nope,
It's
it's any song.
any song.
any rap song.
Is that too loud? You got the cans on. It's too loud.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, but I used to go to a lot and dance. I used to be in show choir in high school.
Wow.
Yeah, right. Is that surprising?
So you know how to bust a move.
I do. I'm actually I'm doing a burlesque show with
Yeah, with Ed, yeah.
with Ed, and I'm doing a choreography or a dance that I made up.
Is it like a burlesque?
Is it-
Yeah, it's burlesque. I'm taking off my clothes,
Yeah.
and it's gonna be a Justin Bieber song or like just a pop song.
Can you remind me what day that is so I can throw acid in my eyes and sleep in till the next day?
I just want to invite you. How about
I wanna
that?
go.
Oh, that's
What
fine.
one- Do you know when the date is?
No, it's gonna be in August or September. That's what Ed's been telling me. But I've been looking for songs that I could take my clothes off
You
to.
could bust a move to.
Yeah.
How about what song should Steve Breeze?
I was gonna do
take his
"Boyfriend"
clothes off
by Justin
too?
Bieber, or I was gonna do the One Direction song. I have no idea.
You don't. She doesn't know she's beautiful or something like that. I think that's the One Direction song, right?
Yeah, the One Direction.
Yeah.
Something. You are beautiful.
Yeah,
Or
I was
the
thinking-
Wanted song.
Maybe "Beautiful" by Christina Aguilera would be a good one. 'Cause it's really sad.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
Or like, I don't know, like Joan Osborne, maybe some Joan Osborne, or
I'm gonna tape this and I'm gonna put it on your wall.
please don't do
Yeah.
that. We'll unfriend you so quickly, your head will spin.
Oh wow.
I'll report you. I'll report you to
Report me.
Facebook.
Ooh. Well, then I'm just gonna bring my projector and
Shoot it
place
on the side of my house.
Yeah, shoot it on the side of your house.
Whatever. No, I support you, Steve, and all the stupid things you want to do with your life. That's great.
No, that'll be cool. I'd like to that'd be cool.
I don't think I could sign up for that. If somebody was
I'm
like,
also
"You wanna
doing
do that?"
a monologue where I get dressed from not full nudity because you can't be full nude.
What do you just get down to your underpants?
I am duct taping my junk
That sounds painful.
To what?
to myself,
Oh, okay, cool.
or I'm wearing like a nudie, like it's just a nude colored thong sort of deal. I think that's gonna be really uncomfortable.
That's like worse than
Duct tape? That's
actual
worse than
nudity,
duct
right?
tape. Oh, than actual nudity.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant duct tape.
Yeah. Why are you gonna put duct tape?
well,
on,
like not just
on your
duct tape.
special area?
Well, it's not that. Yeah, obviously I shave all the time.
No, that's like waxing. You just put some duct
Yeah,
tape
it's
on
like
there and just
waxing.
rip it right off.
Oh God.
Well, I was gonna put like a towel there first to make it look bigger.
In comparison to a towel, that's not gonna work. It's like, oh, I'm gonna make it look really big by putting things that are bigger than it next to it. Yeah, you need to put like tiny sunglasses on it. Like that's how you do that.
Guys.
Yeah. Well, that's great, Steve. I'm really proud of you. I hope all goes well with your man show.
Manlesque.
Yeah, your manless. Well, you
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm super excited for it.
that sounds great. Can't wait. That's funny.
Tweet us any songs that you can
Yeah,
picture
any-
Steve
yeah.
doing a strip to.
Yeah, or like what you would do to avoid seeing that.
Yeah.
Like, what would you do to actually avoid seeing that?
Also, if you know someone who can apply Velcro to jeans, that'd be nice too. I want to rip my jeans off with Velcro.
Okay. All right. That's great. I'm glad that you're doing that.
Should we move on?
Yeah.
Talk about
let's
me having a
move-
car.
talk
I guess
about
that's
this.
on the list. Me having a car. How is
Yeah.
that? Is that really surprising? Like,
No, I was excited for you to have a car because now I don't have to drive you places. It's great.
Yeah, you gave me a ride and I was like, wow.
Steve drives like a weird, like Subaru or Honda.
it's a Subaru.
It's
like a rally
weird
car.
color and it's got like gold wheels.
yeah, it's the standard Subaru WRX.
You
No.
got a car with the letter X in it?
Yeah,
Why would you do
Impreza.
that to
It's the
yourself?
Impreza or something like that.
That seems like totally counterintuitive to somebody who can't pronounce the letter X.
Yeah, I know, right?
You're like, oh, I drive a Lexus.
Yeah, what is that? Is it some off-brand? You get it.
What year is it? It's an 06.
It's an 03, actually.
It's an 06 Lexus.
I graduated in 06, so that
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah.
Sucks and Anything with a CKS or an
just
ats,
can't do
or
it.
Can't do it. You can't do it.
So you can't
I
pronounce.
didn't, that's why I really didn't ask Eitan any questions, because I would say bites, and it sounds like I'm gonna
Probably
bite
for the
him.
best. Yeah, you were hiding off mic. I was like, what is Steve doing?
I
But we only
did
had
not
three
want to
mics.
say. I didn't want to say that.
That's all right.
Word.
Yeah, Locust Street Days was pretty fun. I had some sweet corn. I did my thing. Oh, we have a gentleman coming in with paddles. I assume this is Andy.
Yep.
And I called him a paddle because I don't know what the hell to call it.
It's a Hurley.
Early.
Early.
I'll tell you what, we're almost to 9:30, so I'm going to play a song, and when we come back, we'll have Andy from the Hurling Club.
Cool.
And we're going to play another song by Often the Thinker, and that way, when we get back, we'll be all set to go. So thanks for tuning in. If you have questions about hurling, please let us know.
Hey.
How many?
Sounded okay?
Welcome back to River West Radio. This is the Killer Radio Show. You're tuning in on Tuesday night, as you do every Tuesday night, or maybe you're listening at a different time. I'm Ryan Mason here with Eric Thorson and Steve Breeze.
Hello.
What's up?
Steve Breeze is man in the ones and twos, hopefully posting some fun stuff on Twitter and Facebook. We're joined right now by a member of the, maybe more than a member of the Milwaukee Hurling Club, Andy. Andy, what's your last name?
McKee.
Andy McKee.
Andy McKee.
So do you have to have an Irish last name to be in the Hurling
It
Club?
is not required but encouraged.
Sure, yeah. Andy was referred to us by Eric's lady friend over here, Sarah, to come in. Can I say girlfriend on the air?
Yeah.
It's official if I
Is
say it
that
on the air.
Facebook official?
Yeah, by Eric's girlfriend, who's also a member of the Hurling Club. So I guess the thing that's on everybody's mind is, what is hurling?
Hurling is an Irish field sport using a stick and a ball, basically,
Sure.
in very basic terms. The field is bigger than a soccer field,
Okay.
and there are 15,
Take that, soccer.
15 players per side. The
Okay.
goal of the game is to score more than the other team, obviously, as in most games. There are two ways to score. There's a soccer-sized goal for 3 points, and then uprights, like kicking a field goal, for 1 point.
Mm-hmm.
And you can hit the ball on the ground, you can hit the ball in the air, you can hand pass it, you can catch it, you just can't throw it.
Okay. So you can like throw the ball in the air and whack it with the stick.
Correct.
Right?
Like you're lobbing yourself, like if you were hitting a baseball to somebody.
Okay.
It's basically that motion. You throw it up in the air and hit it with the stick.
And the stick is called a hurley,
Okay.
and the ball is called a
Slither.
slither.
Don't ask me to spell that. I think I know how to do it, but it's spelled.
Yeah.
It's Sliotar or Thar. I can't remember. So it looks like Sliotar.
Sliotar.
But
Okay.
it's pronounced Slitter.
Let me get my hands on your Hurley. Those of you with the video feed, you can see this stick. If you don't have video, this looks kind of like a beaver tail, a wooden beaver tail, and it has tape on it for what I assume is maybe a crack in the Hurley.
That's used to help protect it from splintering.
It's
during
kind of
some
heavy,
collisions.
yeah. It's not much lighter than a baseball bat, I would imagine, but carrying this around would probably strike fear in the hearts of any person.
Well, that is the goal, actually. Yes.
It's interesting. It looks like an oar. Oh, we got the mask too, the headgear.
I brought all kinds of stuff for you to play with.
So basically, you look like a total serial killer when you're out there. A little bit. So this is the ball, huh? Is this, what is it made out of? It's like a baseball.
It is like a baseball. It's got cork on the inside instead of the
twine. Yeah.
Instead of the twine. It hurts. It's got a little bit more give than a baseball, but it's a good player could hit that 90 miles an hour.
Yikes.
And up to 80 yards in the air.
Right on.
Really, the only protection we wear are the helmets.
Do you wear a cup?
Cups are optional, but suggested from my point of view. Shin guards are also optional, but in my opinion, suggested.
Yeah, I would assume I would go out there wearing a cup. I would think if you're telling me this baseball thing can go 80 miles an hour, I want to protect my children, so to speak. So obviously, it's like somewhat of an ancient game.
It is. It's one of the oldest field sports in the world. It's 2,000 years old by recollection, and a lot of games like lacrosse and that type of thing that was evolved from Native American stick sports.
Yeah,
all evolved. This. From this game over the years, this was actually a way that they trained their warriors for battle way
like
back
the same
in the
motion as
Celtic day.
a sword.
So it kept them fit and kept them, ready for
scary.
vicious battle.
Yeah,
right.
Well, that's interesting. I mean, is it being that it's something that would train somebody for vicious battle? Is it pretty competitive still at this?
It's very competitive.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I've seen them play it at Brown Deer, and it can get pretty physical. I mean, there's definitely I don't know if you'd call it checking, but there's definitely a lot of
Right, you can't cross check like in hockey, but you can shoulder to shoulder check somebody off the ball. you can't, soccer has slide tackling. That's not really encouraged. It's more of a shoulder to shoulder and then incidental collisions. And if you learn really fast where not to be when the, when the stick.
I would imagine you're a pretty imposing guy. I would think like anywhere near you.
Given the ball or the stick, I would take getting hit by the ball. The stick hurts a lot.
Yeah.
I broke my finger my rookie year because I was in the wrong spot.
Yeah.
You learn very quickly where to be when somebody else is hitting. And there are very safe places to play. I mean, the Irish are crazy, but they just instituted a helmet rule a couple of years ago. So, I mean, this game has been played without helmets for quite some time, but now it's gotten to the point where that was even a bit much.
Yeah, a knock in the head from a ball or a stick's probably going to end somebody's career or life, and that's probably not really, smiled upon. So that's interesting. So what's like a typical game? Can you tell me, like, what do they have halves? What's like a typical score?
We play 4 quarters in our league so that we can get everybody a chance to play. If you are on the team in our league, you are guaranteed 3 quarters of the game.
Okay.
So every team has a maximum of 20 players. This year we're averaging 18 or 19 per team. It's 15 aside, like I said. There's 1 goalie, 3 defense, 3 half defense, 2 midfield, 3 half forwards, and 3 full forwards. And then they're marked up like in soccer where you're guarding somebody, but there's no offsides.
Okay.
So you're always kind of... You play in a zone and it's real fluid. It's not a regimented thing like football or rugby. It's a very fluid game from position to position. And you're just basically, if you're on defense, you're trying to get the ball out and out to the midfield, who usually carries possession.
Like passing zones, way like hockey, where you jump it into a zone.
Yeah, but if you have the ball on defense, you are free to move about as you see fit or are able to. There's no rules saying
what's the most traditional way to actually move the ball?
It's whatever. That's actually one of the hardest things to pick up is, I talk to rookies all the time. Is like, in soccer, you can kick the ball and that's about it. But it's like you get the ball in hurling. Do I hand pass it? Do I ground hurl it? Do I air hit it? Do I just solo with it? Because you can run with it, balancing on the stick.
But that's got to be pretty difficult to get, right?
Well, it's got those seams on it, so you can keep it on there. You can also bounce it as you're going along.
Like in lacrosse.
Exactly. And, so there's like 6 things you can do with the ball when you get it. So that's a little intimidating until you start getting the game down. But
just kind of like bum rushing the ball.
Right. It's like,
hitting it.
What do I do? And then you get called because you didn't move the ball and you can't stand there for more than 4 seconds without doing anything. And kind of like basketball where... In basketball, allegedly, in the NBA, you're only allowed 2 steps. Well, in hurling, it's 4 steps. That you can run with the ball in your hand before you have to do something.
So there are refs, right?
There are refs, 2 refs on the field, and then goal judges and sideline judges.
Right. So it seems like with anything that's Irish, I would assume that there's drinking involved too.
There is.
Now, is that sanctioned or is that non-sanctioned?
It is a family club, but there is plenty of picnicking and drinking going on the sidelines.
I see.
Mostly after these days. I mean, it is competitive.
The drinking's competitive?
No, the sport is competitive.
I'm in. Let's do this. I'm a one-man team.
We're actually starting up another round of rookie camp next week.
God.
So
no, it's a lot of fun, even like just to watch. I haven't played yet because I can't run that fast. If I were to run from goal to goal once, I would probably.
But you never have to do that, so you're cool.
Yeah, you can have you get a cigarette break in between. You're good. You're fine. You're fine. That's really interesting, though. Do you think? It makes me think of when you look at like ancient sports, you look at things that maybe are not as commonplace in today's society, but have a following where people are still playing it and they're carrying a tradition. Do you find that the tradition is really what carries it, or even things outside of that? It makes me think that like when Harry Potter was big, somehow hurling got roped into it.
It's funny you say that because some people, including my wife, compare it to Quidditch when they're trying to describe it to other people.
Because sell it a little bit.
Weird. It's hard to describe.
The name of the ball sounds like
yes, it does sound like this golden
Slytherin,
snitch,
basically, or something like that. But it's for some reason it's really addicting. People come in and just fall in love with the sport because it's like nothing they've ever done before.
Yeah, sure. It's really it's really unique and a lot of fun to watch once you get all the rules down and everything.
And it sounds physically demanding, and it can be,
Yes.
especially for midfielders. But you know, I play goalie. I don't run, but it's still physically demanding, but not as much as somebody who's running at
Sure.
midfield who's covering 60 yards of the field.
Oh man, I was gonna make fun of the goalies.
You know.
I was like, did they
can.
get the
Go right ahead.
the short straw? Like, yeah, they whizzed this ball around at 80 miles an hour, and you know, sometimes we were cups. I don't know, but I'm in the goal, so I'm mostly just taking balls to the shins.
Right.
Yeah.
Basically,
Well, I imagine you wear shin pads.
I do. I choose to wear shin guards, but I'm one of the only goalies who does. So
That's insane
Say
to
what
me.
you want. That's fine.
Well, you're one of the smart ones, probably. Then, I think that's it's really cool that you know a sport that's one of the things that's really encouraging too about sports that maybe aren't on the level of awareness as something like basketball or baseball. Because if you're somebody who maybe didn't play sports all your life, that it's something you could probably pick up because you know nobody has the breadth of being like, wow, I was
Right.
born into hurling and dad was a hurler,
Right.
possibly. But I think that you know many people are probably learning because they see other people doing it and they enjoy it. No, you probably come from a long line of hurlers.
I
so.
don't actually, but
You have like a youth though.
we
too.
do. We have youth.
So-
We start them out at 5 years old. My son actually had a slit or a hurley in his hand before a baseball bat, and he was actually holding a baseball bat wrong one day. He was holding like a hurley, and I didn't correct him because I'd rather him play hurling than baseball. But
Sure. Well, he's
I
just
mean-
gonna hit like Ty Cobb. That's all
yeah,
it is.
exactly.
He's gonna be a real racist drinker, and probably one of the greatest baseball players / hurlers of his time.
Every spring we start with about 35 rookies, and they're all starting at the same place, and it's where we all started because you don't pick this up anywhere. And we train them up, and every year we redraft the 10 teams, so it's not like one perennial powerhouse every year. You're redrafted, and every team on
okay,
paper
yeah.
every year is competitive.
Sure.
And it's just a matter of how the team gels and goes throughout the season.
Yeah, it's like roller derby. Like roller derby, they redraft every year to make sure
Exactly.
that the teams are
so that they're
even.
balanced
Yeah,
and competitive.
that's good. I'm excited to see Eric do it first before I would be willing to give it a try. So have you yourself been injured? You said you've been hit with a ball.
Yeah, I mean-
you hurt your finger.
I broke my finger. No big deal. Everyone's, we had
Whatever.
We had a knee injury this weekend. I think he's gonna live.
Yeah.
That could happen playing anything.
Right.
We've had a couple stitches to the. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Depends how quickly you move your rook to.
couple of stitches here
E9.
and there. It's really not that bad. I mean, I say this
Right.
every time. We have not had a single knock on Hurley injury at the youth level.
Knock on Hurley.
That is caused aside from a bump or bruise. It's nothing that they wouldn't see playing.
Right, that you
in
couldn't get
soccer
back
or
up
whatever,
from.
you know?
or something.
Yeah. Sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the nature of like any active sport is that you have the potential to blow your ACL, you have
Right.
the potential to roll your ankle,
Exactly.
et cetera, et cetera. So where do you play? Is it-
Toenails.
Yeah, you mess up your toenail. I blew out my toenail playing basketball recently, so avert your eyes. It's purple and gross. And I was freaking Sarah out with my gross toenail earlier. That's just a basketball injury, though, guys. That's my love for the game, But I'm interested in hurling too, because So when you go out and you play, is it on a space that would generally be reserved for soccer because that's the space that would actually facilitate a hurling field?
We actually play at Brown Deer Park at one of the picnic areas, and we are basically covering the two outfields of a couple of softball diamonds that are facing each other. So the field is 120 yards long and 75. It's actually longer than that. It's 150 yards long and 75 meters wide.
So you paint all the lines on it
We-
before.
we
Are there
do.
other lines on the field though?
No, because we have this pretty much reserved for the whole season.
No, I mean, but on a hurling field as opposed to like a
There's-
soccer field.
There is the outside perimeter, and then there's a goal box that protects the goalie a little bit, much like the small box in soccer.
Yeah.
And then there is a 20-yard line where some of the penalty shots take, and then there's a 65-yard line where other, like in soccer, when the ball goes out on the end line,
Sure.
it's not a corner kick. It
So you
goes out to the
restart.
65 for a restart on offense, or it goes to the goalie for like a goal kick. It would just be hit back out by the.
How does it start? Do you have like a jump hurl?
No,
The
it's
jump
thrown
ball?
in. It's more like a face-off, like in hockey.
Oh, okay. I was like, they throw it up and they whack the sticks in the air. Like,
It is the clash of the ash, though.
yeah.
Yes.
Do the people you break sticks ever?
Yes. Yeah.
That must be disappointing.
A couple of games. I mean, they're hand carved in Ireland. We bring in
really?
500 a year. Those are, that's basically the base of an ash tree there. If you look at how the grain
lines are,
goes, that's where it fans out at the bottom of the tree, the roots. So they get about 25 sticks out of each tree. And we're one of the largest importers of equipment in the United States because we're the largest club in the world.
Oh, you are?
Outside
Wow.
of Ireland. Yep.
Where else in the United States is it prevalent?
We have sister clubs in Madison. They've got 3 adult teams this year, and I believe they're working on a youth program. And Fox Valley has 2 adult teams, and they're working on a youth program. Some of our former members have started teams in Twin Cities and St. Louis, and then there's also DC, Philly.
Wherever there's Irish people,
Right,
I suppose.
right. And then the real powerhouses are Chicago,
Right.
Boston, and San Francisco, where they're basically off the boat Irishmen who have grown up with a hurley in their hands.
That's great. That's exciting.
that's really cool, yeah.
It seems like a really good thing for kids too, because growing up, there are always the kids on the playground that are great at basketball, but
Right.
those skills don't necessarily translate to every single person's level of skill or skill with a device in their hand like a hurley.
Exactly.
I'm sure there are kids that you see pick up a hurley for the first time and you say, well, this kid's a natural. Does that happen? from
There
time to
are,
time?
because the swing is very similar to tennis, where you hold it with your dominant hand at the bottom so you can hit a forehand and backhand, basically.
Right.
So, and then the field positioning is much like soccer. So anybody who has a little bit of a background in any other sport has something that they can apply to this, which makes it really unique.
So what is like the most impressive hurling play? Like what's the alley-oop two-fisted jam of hurling?
I mean,
It's actually an alley-oop two-fisted jam.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, there is a guy this year who started doing it almost looks like an overhand smash where he does put the ball up in the air and like spikes it down almost like a tennis serve, and that's
Sure.
kind of crazy to defend. He started calling it the chupacabra, which isn't
like
really, Irish at all, but
I think it's impressive. I've seen some people hit it from about half field and make it through that's a long.
yeah.
Yeah.
Look at the field. Yeah.
It's an O chupacabra.
Right, or somebody who has the ability to solo it in, which would be balancing the ball on their stick for 20, 30 yards.
Yeah.
Get the ball and score a goal or a point without getting killed at some point. That's always impressive to watch.
Sure.
And then the collisions. I mean, let's face it, it's
Carnage.
fun.
People like
I
carnage.
was drawn to the sport because I was always the biggest kid on the soccer field. I was like, finally, I can hit somebody
Yeah.
without getting called for it if I learn how to do it properly.
Yeah.
But it's not all about that either. So it's not as violent as hockey.
Yeah, it's a team sport.
It's a team sport with some physicality to it. But we play co-ed, and we're one of the only clubs in the United States that does play co-ed too. And the girls are just as tough as the guys.
Oh, Sarah.
And,
Just as tough
Sarah
as
is,
she makes a mean cookie too. So best of both
Sarah
worlds.
is one of the official photographers of the Milwaukee Hurling
Yeah.
Club, but refuses to pick up a stick. But she will.
we got a call? Is that a
she will
caller?
someday.
Yeah.
Hurley question. Put him on the air.
Let's see if we can get him. All right, here we go.
Yo, do you guys have?
Killer Radio, you're on the air. Hello?
Hello?
Yes. Do you have a question about hurling?
Am I on the air right now?
You are on the air right
Yes.
now. Is this Gary?
Hello?
Yeah, you're on the air.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh,
Can you hear
I don't
us?
really have a question, but I do play the sport. I'm one of the members of the club,
Oh, okay.
and I find it
It's
to be
Gary.
one of the most exciting games I've ever played.
What's your name, caller?
I played sports as a kid, and nothing I've ever played has been as cool as hurling.
Okay.
And
Awesome.
I come back every year. My name's Jesse.
Jesse, thanks for calling into the show. So you're a fellow hurler as well?
Yes, he plays. Who do you play for this year, Jesse? Jesse, come on.
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay.
He's got another call. He's microwaving a burrito right now. So, Jesse, do you know Andy? Can you hear us?
Oh, yeah, I know Andy very well.
So, are you better
Andy's
at hurling than
probably
Andy?
one of my the favorite people in the club. He's funny as hell.
Are you better at hurling than he is, though?
I'm not going to answer that question. I don't know. I don't want to deal with
That's
that
a no.
question.
Jesse's a dainty man, and we play at different positions on the field. Let's just,
That's fair enough,
We're
so.
each good in our own spot. How about
Yeah.
that?
He holds his hurley in a certain way. And
A
so
dainty man?
You are.
really
Come
just call
on.
me a
Yes,
dainty
you're
man?
dainty. I'm not going to lie.
childlike. Anyways, we always love having callers into the Killer Radio Show, so thank you so much for calling in. And we're going to
Yeah, thank you.
refer people to the Milwaukee Hurling Club. So
Have a good night.
We'll give you a big shout out. Thank you. All right, hurling question covered.
Question.
Did it.
Done, yeah. I have a question. How hungover are the players usually on a given?
They've learned because it's so competitive that I think back in the day, we are 17 years old now as a club, and it used to be more of a drinking league with a hurling problem, or however they used to put it. But it is, it's hardcore. We are
drinking league with a hurling problem sounds totally different.
But that was 15 years ago, and now it's grown into, people just they're addicted to the game and they just want to win.
Yeah,
and,
take it a lot more seriously.
And then, but on the other hand, it's a great way to spend a Sunday, summer day.
Yeah,
there are tents up and down the sidelines, and the kids are running around.
The beer's cold.
And the beer's cold, and the grills are out, and the dogs are rolling around. It's just a great atmosphere to play in front of and to just hang out and watch. It's if you're thirsty, you just find a
peel
cooler,
off for a beer. That's great. It does sound like something that takes some skill, takes some learning, and as anything, when you try something for the first time, if it's an athletic event or anything that's even mildly competitive, if you're not good at it right away, I think a lot like comedy, when you try it for the first time, you may think that you're going to be great, but when you try it for the first time, you recognize that there are other people out there that are so much more skilled than you are, and it makes you want to do it a lot more. I know that was the experience for me. And probably for you, Steve, right? Yeah.
Still doing it.
He's still doing it.
But the great thing about the way we operate our club is there is a spot for everybody on the field, and there are positions that are especially intended for people with less skill who are just learning the game.
And people have like hooks for hands.
Yeah, and they're still involved in the gameplay, and they're still contributing, and it's not, rookies play week one right alongside the veterans. So.
Oh my God, I'd be terrified. I'd be like, okay, well, I've got 9 cups on, and I can't.
And shoulder pads. That's not even legal.
Yeah, I don't know. They're feminine shoulder pads from the 80s. They're from a blouse, but either way, no, I think that's great. I would find myself being competitive in it. I'm very a competitive person. When you probably, you could probably tell in comedy or in basketball or whatever it is that I'm doing.
Well, yeah, with a toe injury like that, it's
that thing's never coming back, Andy.
Competitive.
Look at that thing.
I'm not even going to look.
Don't look at it. You will lose your lunch. It is purple and weird. My toe is opaque at this point.
Toe injuries are usually attributed to, good athletes.
Yeah, that's what I hear. Yeah, turf toe.
Yeah.
Turf toe. Me and Terrell Owens. Yeah, sure. No, I was running and playing defense poorly, probably trying to catch up to my man, and I planted, and the whole thing was ruined at that point. But I played another 2 games. I still had it in me. I'm a gamer.
I'm surprised Jason didn't have that injury, because he would be like wearing sandals while playing basketball.
He wore like Jason is the other comic who usually sits in with the show, who played basketball with me yesterday, just for kind of fun, and he was wearing like skate shoes that were covered in paint, and I think he left his ankle brace in my car, which I was like, oh, it's one thing to leave your ankle brace in somebody's car like you forgot it, but when an ankle brace sits in your car overnight after having been sweated into, that's a problem.
Yeah,
gotta go get that taken care of now.
You learned early on to clean out your bag,
your hurling bag,
air out the helmet, that type of thing the next day. So
yeah, I'm sure your wife's like, put the helmet in the garage.
Exactly.
All right, it smells like whiskey and sweat, and corned beef. Oh man, yeah. I think the nice thing about a sport that is probably attributed as primarily Irish is that it comes along with all the other fun traditions that are also Irish. Not just the stereotype of drinking, but also the wonderful food, the dancing,
Right.
the comedic nature of people who are Irish. So do you find that that kind of tradition comes along with the territory?
Well, I think one thing that we've changed over the years is that it used to be a pub league or a bar league, and now it's a pub, and that's a big difference in Ireland.
Right.
Pub is a place where you can get food and go with your family,
Right.
and not it just be all about the drinking. It's more about the atmosphere, the music, the celebration, the camaraderie. Basically.
Yeah, do you guys bring music to your events?
Yeah, I mean, there's always something going on, and at a lot of the parties that we have, we'll have bands in and that type of thing. So, it's just a great celebration of the culture, but it's not like if you're not Irish, don't show up. You just kind of learn about the whole thing,
Right.
And we have a lot of great Irish pubs in the area, and a lot of them are our sponsors. And we
Do you have any specific sponsors you want to give a shout out
We've
to?
got County Clare and Brokaw, an Irish pub, and
Right on.
McBob's and Slim's West.
Yep.
Irish
McGinn's, yeah.
Pub and Ale House and Shamrock Club and Packy's and Trinity.
Yep.
Those
Wow.
are our 10 adult, sponsors, which
That's amazing.
we frequent as much as possible, and then we're very blessed to have Guinness as our corporate sponsor. So
Yeah, absolutely. We should say that Trinity is also a facility that does live music for one of the bands that donates a lot of music to this show, the Blue Ribbon Band. You can definitely check them out at Trinity if you check their Facebook page. They play there pretty consistently too. So anybody who's listening should go out and support Trinity because they're supporting the Hurling Club. They're supporting the local music scene that supports us. So definitely something to go look into. So where can people find out more information about the Milwaukee Hurling Club if they are interested?
we are online at hurling.net, simple as that, or Facebook, Milwaukee Hurling Club.
Right on.
And
You have Twitter?
Twitter, it's something a little less obvious. It's like MILW
Underscore
Hurl or something.
Backslash.
But or if you just want to drop an email at info@hurling.net, we can get you hooked up. And like I said, we are looking to add some rookies at midseason this year. So if you're interested,
And when is that?
we're going to start a rookie camp up on Thursday night at practice. So
Okay.
come on out or get in touch if you're interested, and we'll save a spot for you.
I'm going to put a challenge out there to anybody who is a COK fan or is a member of COK. If Eric's going to go out there and try his hand at hurling, I'm going to put the challenge out to let's see if we can get one other COK member or fan of comedy to come out and try hurling.
Yeah.
I want to see
We should all do it.
I want to see a COK sticker on a hurley.
Yeah.
And I want to see it whack a ball into what I believe they call the goal mouth. I don't know what they call it.
That's close enough.
Sure. Well, Andy, thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate it, and it's nice to meet you.
Well, thanks for having me.
uh,
Appreciate it.
Sunday afternoons.
Sunday afternoon, every Sunday at Brown Deer Park, and then practices are on Thursday nights at Brown Deer Park.
And Sarah is going to get us some hurling pictures so we can put them on our Facebook as well. So if anybody is thinking that my description of a hurley and my description as well as Andy's of the sport isn't enough for them, definitely check out their website. But we'll get Sarah to pass along some photos because she is the photographic representative of the hurling club. So big shout out to her. And
she's
thanks for
too
helping us to
scared
get
to
these
play.
folks in here. Too scared. Oh, no way. I think now that we mentioned the Blue Ribbon Band, why don't we play a song by them? And we'll see everybody next week. Make sure that you tweet at Castle Killers, #Killer Radio, and check out COKComedy.com, as well as the Milwaukee Hurling Club.net. And we will be back with you next week. I believe Chris Barnes is going to be on the show.
Awesome.
This song is called Let Me Be. It's by the Blue Ribbon Band.
You get lonely next to me, and I'm sad to say my time's not free. It's time for me to break so I can see. But darling, please just let me be. I'll take my shoulders 'cause I loved you too. Take these silly little games away from me. But darling, please just let me be.